The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sherapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Off and running on a Thursday. What's up, Brigade? Welcome into a Thursday episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. Dave Sherapan, the Book, Matt Perrault, the Bostonian. We are live on our YouTube and our Twitter accounts at Boston versus the Book. We replay it every night, Sirius XM on 159 Sports Grid TV tonight, where you will see us again tonight and again tomorrow doing work. If you haven't liked us on Sports Grid, I'm sorry, you're going to get more of us. So Thursday, Friday, that'll be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday for us on Sports Grid, as well as BBB. We are kind of taking over that network slowly but surely. I don't really know how, but we are. It's kind of crazy.
What?
Thank you for being here. We've got Robert Linehan coming on here in 20 minutes. This dude just broke a monster story about the state of Florida sending a letter to Underdog, Better, and Prize Picks, essentially saying either you stop operating or we're going to come and arrest you. We'll get to that. He was covering the Alabama legalization story. That thing was bonkers this morning. And baseball. We'll talk about baseball for the first time in 2024. How are you,
baseball
sir?
Got pushed back to the back of the rundown because of all these things that are happening. My phone's blowing up. I feel like Shefty on trade deadline or draft stuff. Like I'm getting texts like, hey, started off the morning with Alabama, and Alabama may actually have gambling and all this other stuff. Like, what? This may actually happen. I got on the phone with you. We talked about, the movers and the shakers in Alabama, how it works and all these things. And I'm watching Linehan tweet out these things step by step. And I'm going, wow, this is crazy. This may be something that I would have had a big dog. This may actually work. And then we get Linehan. He'll be on here in about 20 minutes. Florida knocks on the door to the joints and says, cease and desist. We're just letting you know. I mean, back in the old days, they just barged through the doors and told the guys, business is done, and I got, people that have been in this business a long, long time talking about the rice paper days. You know what rice paper is?
I do, but not in the gambling reference.
They used to write the bets and stuff on the rice paper. And if somebody came knocking on the door, went right in the bathtub and dissolved.
Yeah.
Rice paper dissolves. I was like, wow, you guys that happened. Yeah, that happened. So I'm good. I spent last night down at the Cosmo with some friends that are in town for that Fantasy Trade Association FTSA conference. I think officially, P-Rod, everybody's gone. Everybody that was here for Super Bowl, we saw all those private jets leaving yesterday. Now this conference, everybody, all of our people in the business, I think everybody's gone. So they got to be here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, watch the show, like the show. Did anybody else reach out about hats? We got hats talking about getting orders and all these other things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things for hats. Yeah. I mean, hats are going on. Quick shout out. Addison for the hat. Big Business for the shirt.
Yes, sir.
The Brigade dressed me today for the show. So love you all. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm wearing all your gear. This Bucky's t-shirt is phenomenal. Madeline, by the way, Big Business. I have to say, she told me she can't stop. Well, one, she's sick. So the blanket that Mrs. Big Business and Mr. Big Business sent to the house, Maddie's all in. It's like the softest Bucky. I don't know what the material is, but she's in love with it, and she wants.
There's a Bucky's barbecue blanket.
Bucky's isn't a barbecue. Bucky's is like a one-stop for everything. Like, it's hard to describe what Bucky's is until you see it.
Is it like Come and Go on steroids?
It puts Come and Go to shame. Like,
really,
Come and Go's a gas station.
Oh,
Bucky's is like, I don't know what you want to describe it. It's a mecca. It's like a all-encompassing everything. Like, you can literally go there and never leave. Like it's got everything for you. Yeah, it showers. You can sleep there. You can eat whatever you want. You can, they got multiple different things. Like it's really hard to explain.
Hotel. Is it a hotel?
It's not a hotel. There aren't rooms to sleep in per se, but like if you're traveling in the south of the Midwest and you see a Buc-ee's, like you have to stop at it. Like you have no choice.
Oh,
it's a must.
Can we do a show from a Buc-ee's?
We could absolutely. See, Daniel G did last night. He went to Buc-ee's.
Yeah. I thought Daniel G was up in Detroit.
He calls it a redneck Walmart. I mean, I guess you can call it that if you want.
Okay.
But it's unbelievable. I mean, it's a Walmart with more gas pumps, kind of. It's just something like you have to go to it. Like when you're driving and you see Buc-ee's, you're like, it's like a mall. Like you have to go to it. So that's why this is big business from the Texas version of Buc-ee's sending me.
Where's Buc-ee's located? Just in the Southwest?
No, it's like it's kind of like come and go. It's like it's like Southern, Midwest, South. I don't know what you call Texas. Like Texas, Oklahoma is its own country. So like I don't know what part of the country you'd call that. I mean, it really is. Look at the population base. I mean, it kind of, it's very different. But that's where it is a lot of times. My first experience with Buc-ee's, I think, was in Alabama. It was my first time going to Buc-ee's. So it's just you got to stop. It's very cool. So he sent me a whole gift package, care package. Madeline's got t-shirts. I got t-shirts, but the blanket that he sent to Maddie, she's in love with, and she's sick upstairs. So she's all wrapped around tight. Has a fever upstairs, so it's much appreciated.
I had a blanket sent to me from Uncle Dan from my stay in Philadelphia at his house. I slept with a blanket that changed my life.
It did.
And I said, I got to take this home. He said, take it. I don't want it. I couldn't fit it in the suitcase.
Okay.
So a box showed up at my house yesterday. Big box. And I could see my brother's writing on it. And my wife was like, did he send you that blanket? I said, yeah. She's like, you're ridiculous. You know that?
Why? Why are you ridiculous?
Because I made him send me the blanket. It costs
you did.
more to send it than it did
buy it.
Yeah. But it's not made anymore. So I slept with it last night after I had a glass of wine in the visit down at Cosmo.
Yeah.
I slept like a baby. I mean, I slept great. I got this. It's very heavy. She's got this house absolutely freezing. We're in that stage right now where it's a little warmer during the day, still cold at night. 62 in the house. 62.
62 degrees in
62.
the house.
I took a picture of it and I said, do you think, I don't think we're trying to have another kid. All right. But like if we had another kid, we would go to CPS, Child Protection Service. It would be too cold in the house for a baby. I said, listen, Grandma and Papa, they have their own heater. Don't worry about them. Okay.
Right.
Trying anything I can to get her to turn it up. I want the over. She won't do it. I did not wake up crying like your baby, like little Chef Benny. I did not. No.
He's right in the thick of it right now.
Oh, baby. You never know when you're going to get a random tweet or text or something from Chef B. He's up with a late night feeding. Yeah. Did she drop it to 62 after Matt's V-Day rant? She did not. No, but, we like waved at each other. We did almost exactly what Steve said to do.
Oh,
Brubaker, like happy Valentine's Day. Yep. Okay. You good? Yep. You want to go out to eat? Not tonight. Perfect. Done. Simple, quick, easy. Done. Finished.
I love the hate tweets. The hate tweets were great. I was laughing so hard.
I'm just glad they watched. Listen, love, hate, whatever. Just watch and hit the like button. Tell somebody, Matt, your pigs stink. Dave, all you do is wear hats.
Last night,
you guys talk about stupid shit. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. We talk about real stuff too. We talk about what we talk about is life. Talk about what happened last night. I'm still shook from Kansas City. I'm not right. I am 100% not right. I was so bummed out when we were on live. It's the second time, P-Roll, that we've been doing this show in the past 3 months where there's been a live shooter while we're on the air. One, in our neighborhood with my kid locked up in a building, and two, celebrating a Super Bowl championship with kids
It was hard for me yesterday because like I had to literally ask my class. Normally, what I do with my class is when there's a major breaking news story, I make them go into like newsroom mode. And I say, okay, guys, you're in the newsroom. How are we covering this? What are the angles? Who are we talking to? Who are we putting out in the field?
That wasn't on the syllabus.
No, because it's on purpose. Because what my point to them is, I always tell them the story about like when I had to be for 3 days, I had to be a news reporter after 9/11 because I was on the air doing live play-by-play, literally of the planes going into the Twin Towers. And for 3 days, I was a news reporter. I was out covering the story as if I was working for a news station. And I was a sports talk morning drive guy. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but they're like, hey, go cover that. Hey, go cover this. Go interview that guy. So I said to both the guys and girls in the class, sometimes you go to work and you think it's going to be a normal day and it changes your entire life. So we're in class. What are we doing? But I have to ask for the first time ever. I had to say, does anybody get triggered by gun violence? Because it just happened on campus last semester. Are you guys okay talking about this?
Right.
And they all were like, yeah, we're fine. But like, that's a new world now. Like whenever we're going to talk about gun violence on the campus of UNLV, you have to be careful and cognizant of the idea that there may be a kid in there who really is traumatically scarred for life after what happened last semester. So yeah, I mean, second time I was on the air during 9/11. I was on the air during the West Roads shooting in Omaha, Nebraska, when a kid walked in with an AR-15 and shot up an entire mall. We were on the air during the UNLV shooting and now on the air during the shooting at the KC parade. I just can't believe a radio DJ went to cover that at the age of 23 and she didn't come home.
He told me that last night. That shook me to the core. Again, like these things you hear and you're just like, well, you know, we're going to move on. We're going to talk about the games, right, and all this other stuff. And their lives are changed forever. When she was 23, it's sickening. It hurts. It hits you in places. And, you know, you're talking about the kids in your class. I was worried about Kels yesterday. I was worried about, you know, I mean, I asked her specifically, are you good? Yeah. All right. Are you sure? You know, and her and Jess had a big study session. Thank goodness Jess can help with the science stuff that she's got going on right now with the classes. But they were focused on that. Kendall and I were just kind of hanging out, talking about, you know, who got cupcakes and who didn't in school and all these other things. And you start to see that everybody's kind of got their own thing. But that thing in Kansas City was that I mean, what's the, so as a newsroom guy or as a professor, like how long do you talk about this? I mean, obviously today you cover it. And then, when do you just kind of,
it really depends upon where you are. So if you're in Kansas City, you're covering this all the way until, you know, the story is known and the victims are identified. Over half of the victims are under the age of 16.
Oh,
like there's 11 kids who are in the hospital right now with gunshot wounds. Like these are kids, like parents brought their kids to a parade and they got shot. Like, I mean, that has lasting implications on a community. So for Kansas City or Missouri or the KCMO region, as they call it, that will be a very large topic for weeks. Like that won't be going away anytime soon. You cover the funeral for Lisa G, who was the DJ who lost her life yesterday. You know, there's some in critical condition. Like only one has died, but others could. I mean, there's 3 who are in like seriously bad shape right now. So that death toll might climb. And so you're always covering it. I think for the rest of us, I think it's a story today. It's a story front page today of the Boston Globe. I thought put it up, you know, we know what happens next is what the title was.
Oh,
which is nothing.
Right.
Which is nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna change. I don't care we said this before in this show. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, right, left, pro-gun, anti-gun, whatever. Nothing changes. Like nothing ever changes. It's just another one. And we just, as Americans, we accept it. I don't know why we do, but we accept this is part of being in this country. It's being around gun violence consistently.
As you start to bring it into your own world, we went, and it was one of the most fun days we had as a family with sports around and stuff when we went to the parade for the Knights here. We took Kels brought a friend. I mean, it was me and all the girls, and it was a blast. It was 110 degrees. It was really hot. We were packed in tight. At one point, I had to ask the people behind us politely first, and then not so politely second, to back up because there were too many. It was too close, and the girls were getting pushed up on this fence. And I was like, "People, we got to space out. Like everybody, just stand in your space. No one needs to get closer. They got these big screens we can see." But it kind of crushed me a little bit. Like, well, I'm never going to another parade again. Was at one point what Kendall said. Wow. And I was like, they're not. It's a random thing, and how do you explain that to a 10-year-old? I can't.
I had to bring Madeline to my class yesterday, right? So she's got a cold. She's not really all that sick, but like no one could watch her. And she looked at me and she said, "Am I okay to go to class?" And I said, "Are you worried about what happened last year?" And she said, "Yeah." Like that was in her conscious mind of going to UNLV. She was concerned. And I was like, "Look, you're good." And she was like, "The guy was going after professors, not kids, right?" And I said, "Yeah." She's like, "That's better, right?" And I said, "It's not really better, but just know that the shooter wasn't after college students." So it was really random. But like having that, we're sitting in the parking lot, we're having that conversation with my 9-year-old. And like, I was like, this is really, sorry, Will, this is really fucked up to have this conversation with my 9-year-old about going to her dad's work. This is where I work. And my 9-year-old's like, "Yeah, 3 people got shot last semester going here. Are we good?" Because I don't want to remind her, but the building next to where I teach is where it happened.
Right.
Like you can see from the parking lot we were parking in, you can see the building in which the shootings happened. And that building is closed off. It's not open. They're not going to open it for this semester. They may never open it again. I don't know. But like, these are things that as parents, we're having these conversations. And the idea that our kids can't go to a parade, they're going to lose that joy. They're going to lose that day of celebration because of violence.
Should never really be a factor in the decision. And now, again, something that was so positive kind of turned into, they had the NFL draft there,
right?
In the spring, that same spot. When I saw the videos, I was like, "Oh, wow. I remember seeing this the way it's kind of set up. I've never been there." And then I worked with a guy at Sports Grid, Parker, and I was thinking of people that I know in Kansas City. When I saw that, I was like, "Geez, do I know anyone that might be working on it?" So I texted Parker, who shoots the games for the Chiefs on the field. So he's very close. I figured it for sure. He's a big fan. He has a tremendous BVB lid that I sent him. I sent him a text. I said, "Hey, are you working? Are you down there?" He said, "No, I called off today, but my crew was right there when it happened." And I said, "Jesus, everybody okay?" And he said, "Yes, as far as I know." He said, "I'm really glad I wasn't working." And I said, "Well, I'm glad you weren't working too." He said, "I guess I have more life to live." What? Like, it just hits so different. And as we get older, these things, there's no answers. There's like, I can't give the kids a legitimate answer. It was just, random. It was this, it was that. I'm tired of talking about it. I want to talk about it.
I didn't put it on the rundown for that reason, because I don't know. What the hell are we going to say? Like,
right.
There's just anger. Like, there's nothing to say. It's just every time we come onto these conversations, it's like, okay, so college campuses at UNLV, or now parades or concerts. Like, we just start like checking. Soon you can't go anywhere. Like, you just, supermarkets, like it happened in Maine, and like, bars, it happened in upstate Maine. And like, it's just, there's just numerous things where like, people are fed up, but nobody knows what to do about it.
We just had the most amount of people that we've had in Las Vegas gathered here for the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful nothing happened.
I would agree with that.
There was a lot of things. There was a lot of gatherings with a lot of people, and I don't mind the crowds, but like, Jess is getting to the point where she don't want to do it, and the kids are
It's hard
young.
to argue.
Like
It's hard
they
to argue.
have,
Yeah.
I would expect them to not even like just go. Now they're like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go. And it sucks that like as you get older and you watch the kids grow on their own, they make their own decisions. I hate to see their enthusiasm for stuff all like they're learning everything too fast. Everything's happening too fast. You're having a conversation with Maddie in a car before you go in about stuff. She's 9. Should be talking about like different things. Like
she used to be excited to go to class. She used to be jumping up and down. She couldn't wait to go to class because she loves being around college kids because they're older kids. Every 9-year-old loves being around college kids. Today, she had a look in her eye, and I'm like, "You okay?" And I knew something was up. Like she just didn't look right. And she was like, "Am I okay to go here?"
Oh,
I was like, "Are you okay to go here?" Like, whoa. Like, come on. Like your dad, I never take you to put you in harm's way. I was like, come on.
Right.
But like that conversation, like it hurt me. I was like, damn it. Like that sucked. I didn't like that conversation at all to have. But the kids, they grew up. I mean, I don't know if 9, I ever thought about walking into a place and getting shot. I'm not sure that was ever in my brain at 9. It's in her brain.
Hell no, it wasn't.
Right?
Yeah, it wasn't for me. I mean,
Daddy, am I okay to go to campus? You know, that guy that was there last semester, like, is someone else going to do that?
Right.
Like, it's a hard thing to jump in with. It's a hard thing to answer as a father. So, all right, we got Robert. He's tight on time.
Is he here? Oh,
yeah. So let's
bring
get
us up to speed.
Let's get Robert Linehan here on the Bostonian versus the book here. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me change this one thing because we got to get the right overlay on these things. And we go with that. And here he is, Robert Linehan. What's going on, Robert? You're very busy breaking big stories. What's up? Welcome back to BVB.
I was going to say, as you can see from my hair, man, I should have run a comb through my hair or something. It's been a wild day. It's been a wild day today. It's been insane, kind of what's been going on today.
I wake up, we're 3 hours behind you. Great to see you. You're tweeting about Alabama. Matt spent 5 years in Alabama, knows a lot of people there. I can't wait to go. It's one of the states I've never been. Yeah. But we had it as a huge dog to have gambling, sports betting, all of this stuff. And I'm not going to lie, I was in a parking lot on the edge of my seat waiting for your next tweet. I'm like, Linehan does God's work here with this. Fill us in on what happened in Alabama today first.
Well, first off, I still can't believe how bad my hair is right now. It's unbelievable. It's embarrassing.
Tremendous. No, it's great.
Yeah, the commenters seem to enjoy it.
Yes.
But yeah, so Alabama today took a really big step towards this very expansive gaming bill that would legalize state casinos, a state lottery, and retail and online sports betting through a constitutional amendment. The House of Representatives approved 2 bills that would basically do all of that. It was sent to the Senate. If it's approved by the Senate, Alabama voters would have the ultimate say on everything in the November 2024 general elections. This is a big step for the state regarding legalized gaming. Alabama has tried to do this on a number of years. I'd say every year for about the last 3 years, they've tried to legalize sports betting and the lottery to some extent. Nothing has really gotten a lot of traction. This passed fairly easily in the House today. It requires a 3/5 majority to be passed in both houses because it has to be triggered through a constitutional amendment. But they really had no problems getting the votes necessary for this. It's the first step, but as I said, it's a big step. It's going to go to the Senate next, where actually in 2021, the Senate passed a fairly similar bill that legalized sports betting, casinos, and lottery. And then it was sent to the House and it died. So it's sort of a flip-flop of what's going on this year.
So do you think it's actually like going to pass like it could, like the Senate? I mean, was this the harder of the two with the flip-flop, sometimes that means, okay, you guys say yes, we'll say yes or rubber stamp it. And then, like, people in Alabama think they're going to have sports betting by football season. They're not. That's not realistic, is it?
It's not. It certainly wasn't rubber stamped. I mean, there was a lot of opposition to it. A lot of speakers that got up, talked about the dangers of expanded gaming and casinos being in backyards. The same stuff that you hear in every single debate on this throughout the country. And it's certainly, it's through about a year of hard work from the representatives that put it together, Representative Blackshear and Representative Witt. I don't know if it's, I'm not in the game of making predictions if a bill will pass. I can't tell you how many times I thought a bill had absolutely no shot of going through, and then it would pass. And then, a bill that seemed like a slam dunk gets destroyed at the last minute, and we're all grasping at straws. I think Alabama, as it stands right now, has the highest probability of legalizing sports betting and gaming out of any other state in the country right now.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like the bill has a lot of momentum to it. Obviously, it would have to be approved by voters in the November general election, which means that, you wouldn't see sports betting in casinos and a lottery until 2025. But I do think it stands a good chance at sort of crossing the finish line in the Senate and then being finally determined at the polls in November.
So, okay. I have a friend of mine who lives in Birmingham who tipped me off about this about 4 months ago.
Sure.
And said, Matt, there's a good shot that Alabama is going to have sports betting in 2025. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, it's a lot of people talking down here that this is going to go. One, Tennessee and Mississippi's success with rolling it out and not having massive problems has caused people in the state to go, maybe we should be joining in. They would like to go legal before Florida, if possible, because the Panhandle, obviously, there's a lot of people down there in the southern part of the state, on the coast, which is right by the Panhandle of Florida. So they don't want to lose even more money to people crossing the state to going to Florida on this. Mm-hmm. But have we ever had a legitimate poll done about voters and whether or not they're going to vote to legalize brick and mortar casinos?
Well, something was referenced today by Representative Blackshear that he said a number of polls have been taken that have shown that, at the high, 91% of voters support expanded gaming in the state, and at the low, 51% of voters that were polled support gaming. He said right now it's averaging around, and this is these are polls that they basically organized and sort of got on their own. So take that with a grain of salt. But, he said that it's polling at an 80% clip of approval right now. And, Matt, that was something interesting you said. That was a big point that was being made today by a lot of House of Representatives that supported the bill that said, look, this one woman said, look, I'm sick and tired of people of our residents crossing state borders and putting other kids through school and improving their infrastructure. Like, we need to be keeping that money in Alabama. A lot of representatives said that their that they weren't in favor of expanded gaming, but they've heard from their constituents that are very much in favor of expanded gaming, and they voted by, the opinions of their constituents, which is, it's what they're elected to do. They're elected to be sort of the mouthpiece for the people that they represent. So, it's going to be an interesting journey to see what happens next at the Senate, and then again at the polls. I mean, it still has a high hill to climb. It's not a simple majority. It has to be approved by a 3/5 majority. I've seen a lot of bills that had to be approved by a 3/5 majority get that simple majority vote, but fail because they didn't get the necessary ayes in there. So it's Alabama has a great chance. I mean, that's the state that my radar is really sort of honed in on right now in terms of, I'd say Alabama and Mississippi are running sort of neck and neck right now with who's actually going to get something done this session.
We had all this planned to do and talk about Alabama, and then right before we start the show, you put out another tweet about cease and desist letters in Florida. And I went, oh my goodness. I mean, I know you got to go in a couple minutes, which is fine, but what the hell is that? I mean, is this them pushing them and saying, look, this is gambling. It's gambling. We know it's gambling. You have 30 days. I said it's a good thing it's a leap year, so they got an extra day to figure
There you
it
go.
out.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell is that? Explain that to people.
Well, I mean, that's why I was on late. I was supposed to be on at 2:30, so I appreciate you guys giving me some time. I was trying to write that story up.
Listen, you come on with that hair like that, you can come on anytime you want. That's fine.
Yeah. So the Florida Gaming Control Commission sent out cease and desist orders or letters to Better, Prize Picks, and Underdog Fantasy on January 31st. It's the second round of cease and desist letters they've sent. The first round was sent in September, but these letters specifically say you have to stop within 30 days of the issuance of this letter, or we are going to send this matter to like a prosecution department in the state. It's the first time they've set a timeline on when these operators need to leave. I haven't spoken with anyone from Better or Prize Picks yet. I haven't gotten in touch with them, but Underdog has said that they will be leaving on March 1st. That's sort of breaking news on your site here, on your show here. So they're done in Florida on March 1st. Prize Picks has not had the best of weeks. They just ceased their paid competitions in New York. Yesterday, I think, was there
with a $15 million bag on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
Like they
they were
great. Now, is that a lot of money? I was talking to somebody earlier, and they're like, "Oh, they made so much money anyway. They just break off a check. That's the loose change in their pocket." 15 million is 15 million.
15 million. I mean, it's in the grand scheme of things for them, it's probably not a lot. It means a lot more to them than it would mean to DraftKings or FanDuel, something like that. But, what's interesting about this Florida thing is that, all DFS is supposed to be illegal right now in Florida. Florida's been like this gray state where there was no real law saying that it was legal, but then there was no law saying that it was illegal. So the Gaming Commission, what's interesting about this is the Gaming Commission sent these letters to Better, Prize Picks, and Underdog.
Okay.
But we know that there are other operators that are offering DFS games in Florida right now. FanDuel and DraftKings obviously are two of the bigger DFS operators in the state.
So are they going to get one, or did they avoid the letter writer?
Well, that's I'll let you. They have not received a letter yet. They were not part of the first wave in September to receive a letter. An industry source told me that they weren't going to receive a letter, so I don't see that happening.
Wow.
Again, the Florida Gaming, if they did receive a letter, I believe that the Florida Gaming Control Commission would have sent me a copy of that letter.
Right.
So, I'll let you read between the lines as to why they're not being singled out with these other three. But yeah, so that's everything going on in Florida. Alabama, like I said, bringing it back home, they have a really good shot this year to get something done. It's going to be interesting to talk about, to see. And that's been the extent of my interesting day here. So
excellent. All right. Well, I know you got to go get the kid.
I appreciate
the hair
it.
looks great. I wore the Phillies hat for you. I picked this up in Philadelphia.
Pitchers and catchers, come on, man.
I know it's baseball season officially.
Although they don't look good in those Fanatics uniforms, though.
I know that's a whole nother story. Again, I don't know what they did. I'm glad I got all the old stuff. I got the good stuff. So
I know
that's fine. I'm going to be back there in the spring. My oldest is playing D2 softball at Felicia University in Rutherford. So when I come to Philly, we'll hook up. But because my brother lives there. Great seeing you. Thanks for joining us. Get on the road. Don't be late for pickup, because if you're late for pickup, the rest of your night stinks.
That's right. I'll have teachers calling me. Yeah, Dave, Matt, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It's always fun coming on.
Great. Thanks. See you, sir. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Well, there you go. So that was Robert Linehan. He's at XL Media. Great dude. I can't do anything with these boxes right now until Matt gets back his internet. So Matt crashed the internet. Well, Matt didn't crash the internet, but the internet crashed at his house. So we're doing the show like this right now until further notice. So, I got the rundown right here. That was really interesting. That became a story because people didn't give Alabama much of a shot of actually getting this done. And now somebody in Alabama wants this done. So they got a long road to go, but they're through first down. Let's put it that way. So that's that. Florida, cease and desist letters. In the old days, like I said, they used to just barge in the doors and tell you business was shut down. Now they send you a letter. This is legalized sports betting. They send you a letter and say, we're coming. You decide. And it's everything's different. But in some ways, everything's the same. The show's not going to be the same because it's just me. So we're just going to sit here and talk like this. I'm going to look at the rundown. Let's see. Pitchers and catchers report. Baseball talk. I don't know if we can talk a lot of baseball. He's got these list of things. And if Matt's not here, what are we going to talk about? The Dodgers. I mean, I wore the Dodgers stuff today. If you like LA, everybody likes LA. I got the Dodgers All-Star hat. It's kind of doubles as a spring training hat because it has the clear stuff in the back. It's a perfect hat for Vegas because it's hot in the summer. When you wear hats that are nice, they get messed up from the sweat. So wore the Dodger stuff today. Let's do this. While Matt is reestablishing his connection and stuff, let's do a Ask Dave anything you want. Just fire away. We got a lot of people here watching. Ask a question. I'm looking at the chat. You guys are awesome. And to be perfectly honest, we're having a lot of discussions with a lot of people about a lot of things. They're putting us on Sports Grid at night. Me and Matt, tonight we'll have Taylor Mathis for the first hour. Cam Stewart will join us in the second hour. You can watch that. And he's back.
Sorry. My goodness gracious.
It's fine. We held it together. We finished the interview with Robert, got him out on time so he could go get his kids. I was talking to all the boys and girls in the chat. It's nice, man. It's like therapy.
Sorry. So we stayed up, huh? We stayed live?
Everything was fine, except I couldn't change the overlay.
Right.
So you were gone. It put me in the middle. I had a big line between my face like this. But at one point, Robert said, I'll let you read between the lines. And I almost dropped a joke. I said, I am between the lines right now. But listen, I don't know. You obviously weren't able to hear what he said.
I heard nothing. So I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Everything in this house crashed. Like everything went down. So I had to reset everything.
That's fine. Well, you look good. Everything's back. You
Okay,
sound good.
All right, good.
Alabama, this is the first step. Long way to go.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, that's what he said. And then the Florida thing, those three got cease and desist letters.
Yeah.
But other companies are operating, doing the exact same thing, did not. And I said, oh, really? Like who? And he said, well, like FanDuel and DraftKings. I said, oh. So are they going to get a letter? Or he said, well, from what I've been told, they're not. They avoided the letter writer guy. I said, oh. So, and then that's when he said, I'll let you read between the lines. Cash, bags, envelopes, no letters. We're good. I don't understand how that works, but I do.
Well, hold on. Let me just backtrack for a second. So are we saying that because DraftKings and FanDuel aren't operating sports gambling, just DFS in the state, right?
Well, that's what Prize Picks, Underdog, and Better are operating.
But the difference is that they are claiming, I read the letter, they are claiming that those entities are operating sports gambling offerings.
Right. The same exact things that the other ones are offering. There's other companies doing the exact same thing. They just
FanDuel and DraftKings are offering the 5 and 6 leg player prop parlay. Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Because I thought they were just offering DFS contests only.
Oh no. No. They basically bought out the competition. It's what they did.
Who bought it? Who?
The big companies.
Well, no, they still have Prize Picks and Underdog and Better are still in the state. They didn't buy them out.
They're not buying them. They got big bad boogeyman to come in to tell them to stop operating.
Well, the problem is obviously the idea is to bury them in legal. So then they actually have no choice, or they go get them. They start knocking on doors, like you said. They kick in a door or two. Yeah, that's going to be sticky. That's interesting because you obviously have the main operator. It's a monopoly in Florida, where you have one entity
for sports betting.
But this is over. This is a sports betting cease and desist order. This is claiming what you're doing is sports betting, because FanDuel and DraftKings can say, we're just going to stop operating or offering those 5 and 6 legs parlays. We're going to keep DFS alive. Well, I mean, you would assume that that would be the easiest case in the world, where you'd throw up what FanDuel has live on their app right now during a court case. My gut tells me that FanDuel and DraftKings will stop offering that, but they'll keep operating as a DFS company. The problem is those other companies don't have the DFS contest offerings that FanDuel and DraftKings have. And they say, look, Florida's legal for DFS. We're not doing sports betting. You're claiming this is sports betting, so we're going to stop. Don't give us a letter. So my gut tells me they will pull that down for at least temporarily. They will pull down those offerings and keep operating as a DFS company. Those other 3 companies don't have the DFS model built in. Their model is, wait, a 6-game, parlay is DFS because it's player props. It's not actually sports betting. And the state is saying, you're a sports betting company, and we have one company that has one license, and it's only Hard Rock. It's only the Seminole Tribe. They're the ones that control everything, so we're kicking you out. That's my read on it. My read is that it is less about FanDuel and DraftKings paying somebody off, which they could have, but it's more about the fact they have other business models in the state that's legal, versus Underdog and Prize Picks do not.
They get deeper pockets too.
True. That's absolutely the case. And I think one day they may be legal in Florida. I mean, there may be a relationship down the line, depending on how the tribes feel. There may be something type of relationship there in the future between the two.
If you're watching in Florida and you know anyone that's associated with the tribes or anything like that, reach out at Sports Beat Cake and Sig, at Boston versus the Book, at Sports Talk Matt. We'd be happy to consult you and help you through this process, because it's going to get, what'd you say, sticky, murky. It already is. I mean, there's things going on. Underdog does DFS. Of course they do.
But they don't.
They do. They do.
No, I know they do. But they've transitioned their business model away from that.
Of course, because that business model, it's for the real diehards still. Season-long fantasy, daily fantasy. I mean, it's something, but the betting it's different. They take those players. Once they go there, it's hard to go back. So, I mean, everybody's building a database. All these companies are data companies. I mean, they're data companies. They're compiling lists. Well, now guess what? You get a cease and desist letter. You can't even get a name or an email address. Who can? The ones still operating. This is a end around move. Protect the flank move. We had guys protecting our flank. Remember that? I love that. Protect our flank.
This is interesting. I'm on Underdog's website because I want to see. I see season log and I see pick'em contests.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see daily DFS, but I guess
they may not do daily. They do season.
Yeah, but that season-long business must be tiny. It's got to be tiny.
That's what I just said. That's what I mean. It's all
they pivoted to be a prize pick competitor.
Yeah, when you have a store and you have multiple products and this one thing keeps selling. I mean, the year at my dad's store, I mean, we had everything, but these Cabbage Patch Kids showed up and everybody wanted one. Guess what we did? Said we're selling Cabbage Patch Kids. I mean, I can't imagine what my dad was doing to get Cabbage Patch Kids in our store. It was amazing. Like they would just show up. It was right. I was a little kid, but I was like, wow. My sisters got one. Everybody, it was nuts. Well, people wanted this, so we pivot. Let's go. Give them what they want. Give the people what they want.
Yeah. So I'm just like looking at all these different things. The winning payout. The pick 2 is 3-1. Pick 3, 6-1. Pick 4, 10-1. Pick 5, 20-1, which is so bad odds.
Well, no, those are fair. 2-game parlay pays 2.65 or 2.75 to 1, depending on where you're at. So they pay 3-1.
A 5-1 parlay pays 20-1.
It should be 24. They shorted it a little bit. What's a 6-gamer?
They don't offer 6-game. Only Underdog. Only Prize Picks does 6-game.
Okay.
They don't do. They do 5.
And 4 is what? 10-1.
Correct.
Okay, so they shaved a couple points off of that. It should be 12 or 13. So Listen, those are hard to hit. They know that, but they know what they were doing. This is not a mystery. They've known that what they've been doing all along. Let's just do it until they stop us. If we're ready, we'll go through their process. Otherwise, we'll leave. Do you think any one of those three says, okay, we'll cease and desist, but we want to play ball here? What do you want us to do? Or do they just stop?
I think the problem that these companies had is when Underdog applied for a license in North Carolina. I think that killed everything. I think that was the admission as to what they are ultimately all about. And states went, well, hold on. You went for a license in North Carolina. You're not coming for a license here? Well, why are you operating here?
Good question.
That's not all right. We're not okay with that.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. To me, it they're parlay betting under another name. That's all it is.
100%.
And they all know it. And they've been operating for a long time. And, we've had conversations and they go, oh, no. And we're like, you're betting. Like, you're taking bets, right? No, we're not. No. You kind of are. Like, let's just be appropriate here. Call a spade a spade.
I got Butchie in there right now, and we got to figure out a way to get Butchie on the show with a connection and different things like that. Even if we have to black the screen, we're going to do it. But, he said it sounds like parlays to me. It is parlays. A dream sports book would be a sports book that didn't have to take straight bets and just took parlays. Are you kidding me? This is somebody at Underdog said, no. We're never going to take straight bets. No. I mean, you should take futures. They should find a way to do futures with fantasy and whatever and let them parlay
futures. Parlay futures.
Right. Of course. Well, Circuit does it. They let you parlay futures.
Yeah.
Those are big tickets. People would love that stuff. Now, you may get beat. You may get whacked if you let somebody put together. But over a year, they're going to parlay the Super Bowl with the World Series, with the Stanley Cup. We'll manage it. That's fine. If it gets to that point, we'll move it. But a sports book without straight bets and just parlays? That's music to most bookmakers' ears.
Right.
That's great.
Whew. So we'll clearly watch and see how that all plays out because I think
the real story with Linehan joining us was, did you see that hair
was great.
Has me, but I'm beyond jealous. Like, people in the chat were going crazy. Look at that lettuce. That was nice. I'm telling them, never do that. Just do that every time you come on with us.
Look at the mad. I was trying to figure out who he reminded me of. Like, who do you remind me of? Like a Wolverine mixed with like the Mad Hatter or something. It was phenomenal.
I don't know, but
it was great. I loved it. All right, let's get into what happened last night. The Boston Celtics became the third team in NBA history to win multiple games by 50 plus in one season.
Dear Lord, I was on with Wetzel, and we're watching the game, and they were laying 4 touchdowns in the end of the first. It was 28.5 right away. And I said, are you ready to take it? And he's like, no. And I said, all right, we got to 38.5. I said, 5 touchdowns and 2 field goals, or 5 touchdowns and a field goal. You ready yet? He's like, no, I don't think so. We went and looked. The Memphis Grizzlies beat the Thunder 152-78. 2 years ago. We were on the air. Me, him, and Dane Martinez were on the air.
That's the biggest margin ever?
Well, I remember that game because we were on the air.
Okay.
And I said, we're going to see 55. And they're like, what? I'm like, 55 is the speed limit in areas. It's going up 65, 75 in rural areas. But can you imagine a point spread of 55? So I said it to Wetzel last night, I'm taking over 50. Just because if it gets over 50, you got to do it. It's a principle play. So 53.5 was the number.
Oh, my.
And I said to Wetzel and everybody watching on the show, now's the time to buy. You can say you took the Brooklyn Nets plus 53.5.
Lost.
No.
I know one, but I'm saying, but if it lost, you could just say, I took a ticket with plus 53.5 and it lost. Like the story you tell people.
We talked about it. You called it a circus this week and circus music with the NBA, and it is. It's very, very hard. This was the blowout that, like, the second time the Celtics did it, and I'm going, there's no I don't want to say there's no shame, but it's okay to lose by 50. When was it okay to lose a game by 50?
Never, but it's kind of like striking out 5 times in a baseball game. That used to be the ultimate embarrassment ever. And now it's like, okay, 5 times in a baseball game. So what?
So
back tomorrow.
So like when you go in the locker room after the game and you lose by 50, is anybody talking?
Oh no, they're going. My plane takes off in like 35 minutes. So can you kind of speed this up, coach? I'm out. Like my girl's got my bag and she's waiting. So like, can we like speed this up, please? Okay, thanks.
What the hell?
That's what it is. It's I'm out. See ya on the other side, guys. Have fun in Indianapolis. I'm going to Bora Bora. Bye-bye.
The All-Stars, yeah. See you. The one guy, I don't even know.
Enjoy the cold. Yeah. Enjoy the cold. I'm going south. See you in a week. Goodbye.
Man,
50
points.
All right. So the All-Star break after tonight begins for the NBA.
Right.
Here are your odds.
Right.
For the NBA championship on FanDuel. Who jumps out at that to you?
Oh, well, obviously the Celtics are at the top. The show's called Bostonian versus the Bucks. So. It's okay. Then it's the Bucks right on the list under them, but the Nuggets and the Clippers in between. Okay. Right. Nobody's taking the Suns seriously at all.
No.
I mean, 14-1.
Me included.
Right. And I think it's justified. That Knicks number's interesting. 18.
Agreed.
Cavs number's interesting at 22. I'm trying to find who is playing the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. That will give us options at those prices.
Denver.
No, in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's what I'm trying to match up right now.
Gosh.
Until we know the path, it's very hard, right?
Because isn't it crazy? It's probably going to be the Bucks. That's probably it's probably going to be the Bucks. 1 versus 2. Probably.
I don't think so.
But Doc Rivers could get bounced early, and then it's the Knicks. And it's Boston or Cleveland. Or New York or Cleveland against Boston.
Right.
Which
I don't know. I think the Cavs, that number's interesting. Just to give you options.
If we get
maybe to win it all.
Right.
Okay. The West, can you put that back up? Look at the West teams. The West, despite the fact that Denver and the Clippers are really high odds on favorites. I mean, like high meaning low. OKC, 22-1. The T-Wolves are still playing well and up top, 24. Why in the hell the Mavericks for real? Like, I think the list stops right there.
At 36-1?
No, I think it stops at 24. I don't think there's a team below that has a shot of winning the NBA championship. None of those teams. It's
so
Celtics,
9 teams. So you have 9 teams. And by the way, there's only 4. It's 4 and 5. 5 Western Conference, 4 Eastern Conference.
Yep, that's it. I don't think there's I would love for there to be a story. The Warriors figure it out. The Lakers are playing as good as they played all season. They've 6-1 in their last 7. People are going to tell me, they just got to get in. They just got to get in. The Pacers, Dave's Daily Picks, the Pacers.
100-1.
I mean, Dave, you're my guy and everything. And happy Valentine's Day to you and your wife. That was very nice. What she did, she wrote out 14 reasons why he's special.
Aww.
And that was very nice. I like that. And he made dinner and they had probably a really good night. But the Pacers, is there a team below those 9 that you would even consider right now saying, this is worth a flyer?
50 to 1 on the Warriors.
Seems sentimental.
It is sentimental, but it's still, you can roll back the hands of time. Of course it's sentimental.
I asked Russell last night about Sacramento. No? Young team?
No, things just aren't clicking right now for them. Look, if this doesn't end with the Boston Celtics championship, there's going to be a lot of pissed off people in Boston. This is the year. This is the changing of the guard. LeBron is on the 17th green. The Warriors look like
tried to trade him to Golden State.
They didn't try him. They asked. Golden State asked, and they said no. But it was a trade conversation that at least was floated out there. I think it was floated out there.
Why did that come out? Why?
Because he's going to decline. He's owed $51 million next year from the Lakers. It's his option. He's going to decline it and want more. He's going to go to the free agent market and say, if you want to keep me, LA, you're paying me more. This is my last contract. Pay me more. That's what the rumor is. Just a strategic move of like saying like, oh, you wanted me. Oh, Laker fan goes, wait. LeBron's going where? No. And then it puts pressure on the Buss family and everybody else. So you have to pay LeBron next year. That is why that leaked out.
Wow.
Yeah. And remember that the agent for Draymond is the same agent for LeBron. So.
You think he's going to leave?
No, I think he's going to threaten to leave. To get as much money as he can. He wants as much money as possible. Remember, he's trying to buy an NBA team. He's trying to buy an NBA team.
Right.
He needs billions, not millions. He needs billions. So he's going to try to squeeze everything.
Even billions. He's the king now. The crown is his. He can do whatever he wants. Somebody tweeted at us yesterday about that. Did you see that?
About?
That there's a zillion props with DraftKings and LeBron, like when he's going to get his 40,000 point and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
Of course, it's awkward.
I don't know how I feel comfortable in the room going, this guy can determine this bet whatever night he wants.
Pretty much.
It's it's
not
too
good.
Close. Everything's too close.
Detroit Mercy got their first win of the year last night since snapping that 27-game losing streak. Congratulations to all you content people who were running around all day yesterday. You guys were all on it. Everyone was on it. It was literally the most bet pick on the internet for gaming Twitter last night. Everyone was on that last night. So,
well, odds makers know. I mean, they had the line favored, and they knew.
Kept climbing, and they covered every number.
Covered it all.
Covered them all. All right, pitchers and catchers reported.
Before we move on, I want to dispel all rumors that was Motoy Pearson, who we had on our live show,
right,
in Detroit Mercy, the one guy that stormed the court. Okay, that was not Mo, but one guy.
That one guy goes. I think that was the SID. The SID came in. It was like only person that actually gave a flip that they actually won a basketball game. Like, yay!
I was happy for them. So Mississippi Valley State apparently is the only winless team left.
Okay,
we have to keep an eye on them when they're going to get their win.
Mississippi Valley State. I came close to becoming the play-by-play voice of that team.
I swear I would have loved to have seen you
in Mississippi. Woo!
I thought Alabama was good.
That's
you
right. I picked Bama
Valley
over Mississippi. I was offered both jobs. I was offered the voice of two. I was offered Mississippi Valley State and Delta State were the two jobs I was offered down there, and then I was offered Alabama too. And I chose to go to be a talk radio personality. I think I made the right choice.
Your mom had to be like, "What are you doing, Matthew? You're down in South. Like, what are you?"
Well, I moved. The problem with it all is that I moved with a girl to Alabama. So she got a job in Anniston. I got a job in Huntsville, and we were living together in Old Town Alexandria. And then we both moved down to Alabama thinking we could make distance work. That was the bigger concern. It wasn't that I was going to the South. It was that, what are you doing moving again? Because we had moved from college. We were together at the end of our junior year, all senior year, and then moved to Virginia where her family was. She worked in outside of DC. I was in Charlottesville. And so we were doing distance there. Then I moved to Old Town for 6 months. And then I moved to Alabama, and so did she. So that was the bigger concern of like, you really want to be moving all over the country, but you're not actually together. Like you're just trying to do your jobs career-wise. It's not really working. So
I almost ended up in Orange County, California for my girlfriend. Like we were together in college, and she went back. That's where she's from. And I was something above kept me back east.
Yep.
And then I got sent to Curacao. My wife followed your path. She moved with her boyfriend from Ohio Northern. They ended up in Vegas, and he's a big offensive tackle farm guy who ended up playing on the Arena League team here for a year.
Oh, wow.
And all this other stuff. And then it didn't work out. So I was, option number 2 and worked out, but like that guy, I mean, hey, Matt, his name was Matt too, actually.
Oh God.
If he's watching the show, like, hey man, like he showed up at the door one day before he left Vegas. We shook hands and he said, good luck. And I said, all right, good luck to you too as well. He's 6'8", weighed about 320.
6'8".
Yeah. Guy shows up at your door and I'm like,
hi,
Jessica.
Someone's here.
Yeah, your ex is here. What? You didn't know he was coming? Oh, it was his way of saying goodbye. He had to leave town. So it was the things you do when you're young for the other ones. You learn. Boys and girls, you're listening. The 20-year-olds, listening. Just listen. Figure yourself out first.
Tell my sister that, please.
There's no telling them.
She won't listen to me.
They're not going to listen to you.
But I'm the asshole.
Don't listen.
So I'm the mean person in the state because I bring that up.
This is the role we fill. It's hard being the big brother or the dad, and that's it.
I was told that I'm not going to say it. Forget it. No. Yeah, not even going to go there.
Nope.
We'll
baseball.
We'll keep that away. All right, early look at the futures market as Major League Baseball pitchers and catchers are reporting. I actually was surprised when I saw this number, Dave. Dodgers plus 320, Braves plus 450. That's a smaller margin in the National League. That's to win it all. That's a smaller margin than I thought.
Yeah. Where's the next National League team? Oh, the Phillies. Thanks for coming. Okay. And then look at that split after that.
All the way down to the Cardinals at 35-1. It's a 4-team race going into the season.
It's legitimately a 3-team race.
We're just completely going to dismiss the D-backs, huh? No respect whatsoever. No. It's worth buying that ticket just for the hell of it. At 40-1.
Right.
Team was in the playoffs last year making noise.
The randomness of the MLB playoffs lends you to believe, I'm living proof of that last year with those exactas, those crazy tickets. The biggest score I ever made in my life was having the tickets with the Rangers over to Diamondbacks and the Diamondbacks over to Rangers. Those prices, just when you look at it, the Dodgers are going to win their division. That's what the odds tell you. The Braves are going to win their division. If the Braves falter a little, they're still going to make the playoffs, and the Phillies are going to win the division. Done. I think you got to look at these other divisions and go, who's going to get to the dance? That's all I need to know right now. Cardinals and Cubs right there. Obviously, those two are the Central represented. It's nighttime in Pittsburgh behind. The Pirates are going to be improved, but I saw that season win total 74.5.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big jump. It was 66.5 last year. So
who wins more games, Red Sox or Pirates?
We have a season-long bet working there?
Sure.
You had a very hard division.
Correct. With a really bad team.
My first thought is the Pirates.
Yeah.
My first thought is the Pirates.
Really? Yeah.
Telling you, O'Neal Cruz be healthy all season. That's only going to help. They won all those games without him last year. He got hurt in April, slide into home. I got to see who the rotation is because,
Red Sox won 78 games last year.
They win more or less than that this year.
Right on that number.
Not 500?
No, I think it'll be just underneath. It really depends upon what Brian Bello does because I don't trust. Their ace is Lucas Giolito. That's their number one.
Just say that out loud again.
Right. So, but Brian Bello is a young arm who they call him Baby Pedro. So, if he blossoms and becomes one of the best starters in the American League, Nick Pivetta obviously is a big game pitcher. Cutter Crawford's been decent. Garrett Whitlock's coming out of the bullpen. They're putting him in the rotation. I disagree with that. I like Garrett Whitlock in the middle relief role for how shut down he was. But if he comes in as a decent relief, decent starter, they've got some young arms, some guys who are somewhat unproven to come in from a relief standpoint. Kenley Jansen's hurt, but he'll be back at some point to be the closer.
We need a pull. Nicky Ciramello. I love you guys. I'm telling you, you guys make the show better by being here live. And again, if you haven't listened to the show live or watched the show live, try to get on the YouTube channel @ Boston versus the Book. We met those guys at the Cosmo the other night. I sent them the link. They downloaded the podcast. They subscribed to the audio only.
Nice.
That guy, Evan, sent me a text this morning. That show was really good. I really enjoyed it. I listened to the whole show. I said, just subscribe and listen every day.
Nice.
I said, I'd love to help you, grow the thing. Put the first poll in. Nikki Ceramello said, Pirates, who wins more games? Pirates or Red Sox? I think this is going to be pretty close to 50-50.
What was your win total? 74?
I saw one place. I haven't looked yet. This will be the weekend that I start to really dive into it when I see who reports for pitchers and catchers. 74.5 is what I saw. And I think yours is 77.5.
Yeah, it's right around the same.
So
yeah.
They're close. They're close. But we'll see what the people vote. I mean, it's not fair because you have the Celtics. Like, we're going to be talking about the Celtics for the next 6 months. They're going to have this run.
Yeah, I think the Red Sox
are hanging around. My Penguins are. I mean, seriously, the Penguins are getting old.
Smoked last night
in dog years, like fast.
Yeah,
it's the local guys. I'm going to try.
Oh, Bedard's back though. By the way, Bedard's back tonight.
He is.
Yeah, well, how about that?
Okay,
interesting.
All right, vote in the poll if you're watching the show.
Yeah, all top 10 goal scorers play tonight. Yeah, we know what's crazy about we'll do that later. But the NHL, by the way. Like almost every game tonight in the NHL is the first matchup of the season.
I know, right?
Weird. Like I was going through, like what? Like, I was like, first 10, all first matchups. I was like, oh, interesting scheduling quirk here tonight. These teams are all playing for the first time tonight here in February. So
it used to happen all the time when I was a season ticket holder in Pittsburgh. February, it's freezing, it's nasty. I couldn't wait to go to Penguin games, but that's when you would see Vancouver. That's when you would see Winnipeg. That's when you would see, and it's midweek a lot of times. So in Pittsburgh, they weren't sold out until they actually got good.
Right.
It's so handicapping wise. How do you do that?
It's hard. I mean, it's hard. It's more what is a team playing like versus what did they did the first time they faced each other. It's how are they going into the game?
I think it makes it really hard to pick a side.
Yep.
I think you have to gravitate towards the totals.
And I got 2 bets and better to book it on totals. So
that's
I'm
like
right there
Auto again, our friend Chris Auto
he's killing
at PSU Auto.
Yeah.
Those sheets and those totals things. It's great.
Every time I say it on the juice, I get DM'd. They're like AOTTO. I'm like, no. I say it's PSUOTTO. Right. That's what it is. Like auto, not automatic.
Right. Not automobile. A-U-T-O. Right. O-T-T-O.
Right. Auto. All right. Here are my 5 storylines going into the 2024 season. Okay.
I love this.
These are my person, not Dave's. These are my top 5 storylines.
Yes.
What will Shohei Ohtani be like in Los Angeles is the number one topic in my opinion, going into the year.
I get asked this all the time about us doing this show.
Yep.
Like why we can't show stuff. We don't have a license to show stuff, and we don't need any flags. I'd love to show you the batting practice of Shohei Ohtani.
And 10 home runs and 21 swings.
Like effortlessly.
Yeah, come on. Launched missiles.
What's he going to be like? He's going to be a beast at the plate. He's going to make that lineup better. The Dodgers won and covered on the run line a lot already.
Well, Dodgers overs on the road last year was my favorite bet in baseball. And I think we're going to be back on Dodgers over on the road bets again.
You are right. That's, I think there's going to be a lot of situations where they're catching the back end of rotations in a 3-game series, and it's going to be over. That's the 3-game series bet, because the price on the Dodgers on a nightly basis,
$420.
We're gonna see some big ticket items.
$650.
It's gonna be back in the days where you had the Pedro numbers or you had like the aces, but not because of the pitcher, because of the lineup.
Well,
out hit a lot of people.
I phrased it like this: what will Shohei be like in LA? Because not just on the field, I'm talking about the entire media crush that's coming from the world. The sports world, not the sports country of America, but the world is going to be there. I told you that conversation I had on Media Row with the guy who covers the Dodgers. And he said that they are really considering building an auxiliary press box just for the Asian media that's going to be coming. There are 30 full-time people being moved from Asia to LA to cover 162 games. Every game, even when Shohei doesn't play, they're going to be covering the Dodgers because of the interest in Los Angeles, the interest in LA, the Dodgers team, because they have Shohei. That's going to be unique. Wow. I mean, when Boston got Daisuke, I remember Boston, I think there were 10 reporters that were full-time from Japan that were there to cover Daisuke Matsuzaka. And it was like really well received. People thought it was super cool. And like he had a translator, and it was just, he didn't speak the language till later in his career. And people were very much interested in who he was and what he was about. And they did all these like in-depth stories. You saw him like on the days he pitched. It was stupid. There were so many people in the stands who were there just to watch Daisuke pitch. Like when Shohei is going to be playing on the road, you're going to see so many fan bases.
Yep.
Ticket prices are going to be really high, hard to find tickets when Shohei is on the road. And like, I made the joke. I was like, he's in LA. And the person I was talking with said, Matt, Orange County is not LA. Like, it's not. Like, don't conflate the two. Like, he actually is in Los Angeles now. Like, the LA media is now going to cover Shohei. You're going to see him everywhere. He's going to be marketed everywhere. Wearing blue and white is different than wearing red.
I love the Dodger blue myself. Always.
So I can't the whole spectacle. I cannot wait. Number 2, are the Yankees going to come back with Soto? Are they back in the conversation?
Are they back?
The odds would say no.
It's a hard division. It's a very hard division.
8-1 to win it all.
Yeah,
fourth
Yankees.
Choice.
They always get bet. They're top 5 most bet every single year. And we used to laugh in a room, like, just bring them in. Fly them in from the Bronx. Let them bet them. Because it's Garrett Cole and who? You got to have pitching. They don't got no pitching.
Mm-hmm.
So are they back? Yeah, they're going to score runs, you would think. Soto with that short porch is going to probably
murder pitches.
Statistically.
He's going to murder pitches.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, they're the second choice to win the World Series. I'd make them the second choice to win the division.
I mean, second choice to win the American League. I mean, they're the 4th choice in the World Series.
Yeah, second choice in the American League.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, behind Houston, who just won't go away ever, despite people's like, I'm sick of Houston. They're this, that. They just keep showing up. So, and their lineup is solid. Their pitching is excellent. They'll figure out the bullpen probably, through April or whatever. We'll see. I think I'm going to go down to spring training for a week and just go around and watch different games and different things. We'll see what we can find out. But I don't know. Do you think they're back?
No. I think there's a lot of hype around one player. And until they show me they can get people out, I like this team a lot.
Right?
Can the Orioles take the next step? The next step would be to win the division. Come up, win it again, do it, prove it, show it wasn't a fluke. It's our division. That was not 1 year. It was not a one-time thing. This is ours now. Yankees, spend all the money all you want. Rays, do all your Moneyball crap. We are here. We have new ownership, and we're going to be a consistent story in baseball because we've seen this before. The Royals had a fun little run for a couple of years, and then they went back to being the Royals. Let's see what the Orioles do here this year.
There's 2 ways of thinking about the Orioles. They take the next step and prove that it wasn't a fluke last year, or they go and get Burns. They got their horse at the top of the rotation, and the lineup steps back.
Right.
It's harder, right?
Yep.
I think the odds reflect that like, we'll prove it again. Do it again, and we'll see. Big Business said the Astros bullpen is their strength. It is the end of the game. I don't know if that's their strength. That's what I was referring to. The bridge between the starters and the end is great. They got guys that come out, throw gas, throw those spinners. They're ridiculous. But I don't know if they have a closer. I don't know if you need a closer. You need a closer for a while, but the closer can be 2 different people.
Mm-hmm.
The old way of doing it, baseball's changing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
I still like the one guy closer, though.
As long as you don't burn them out.
Yeah, but I still like the guy who's used to being in the moment. I don't want to have to worry.
Hader, that's right. Is he the guy? They got their guy. That's it. I forgot about that. Thank you, boys. AOWN, ATL Coos, thank you. Hader and Presley. Boy, that is good. I stand corrected. That's why I like doing the show. You guys pointed that out. I forgot about that. Does Baltimore have that?
No. I mean, look, their closer got hurt last year. It changed a lot. He should be back. Okay, I'm blanking on the guy's name. Diaz? Who was their closer?
Oh, that big guy that threw
gas through 103. He got hurt. So he should be back at some point this year. So they'll have their quote closer at some point this year. But I'll be very curious to see how they handle success. Can they deal with because last year that was like, okay, Orioles, we think you can do it. Now go do it. They made the postseason. All right. Now the expectations are much higher.
Right.
The attention much greater. The entire Baltimore market, the second the Ravens lost.
They got new owners, P-Roll. They got
new owners. What's huge. I mean, the Angelos' family was just, people hated them, so they didn't want to go there. So now you have new owners. You're pivoting everybody in the Baltimore region. I mean, the Nats suck, so DC too. Pivoted after the Ravens lost. It was, okay, it's baseball season. Let's go. Where are the Orioles going to be? And that's a lot. That's different. They're not used to that. It's been a long time since the Cal Ripken days where you had a media crush all throughout spring training.
Right.
So, number 4 for me, why isn't Blake Snell signed?
What is going on? Bellinger's not signed. Like
what is this? This is nuts to me.
I feel like this is a game of chicken. Like all the clubs are going, well, we'll wait. We don't need to sign you. Somebody has to be talking. No.
I mean, the Yankees.
Blake Snell could be the guy. Put him behind Burns in Baltimore. Hello.
How much money you want to spend?
Baltimore's biggest question really is their rotation. And that would be an unbelievable 1-2 righty-lefty. Like, that's going to be, depending on the team.
Yeah, the article today in the Wall Street Journal, the headline is, he's one of baseball's best pitchers. How come no one wants him? This back in our day, growing up, this guy gets gobbled up like that. Like
at the winter meetings.
Yeah, like he's
paraded around the winter meetings is a big signing. And it's way different now. I don't know. I just know that, I always think about it from the book's perspective and thinking, if I was still sitting in the risk room, the Blake Snell signing, say he goes to the Cubs. The Cubs become the favorite in the Central. Like in a weaker division, that's a big signing.
I mean, it actually kind of pisses me off because I liked back in the day when the Yankees were actually the Yankees. Like this guy, the Yankees, you just said it. What's the big question with New York? It's Garrett Cole and who? The Cy Young is sitting there for the National League. He's a damn lefty on top of that. He's a left-handed starting pitcher, Cy Young Award winner. The Yankees would come out and go, here's the Brinks truck.
Right.
Come on in.
Drive the truck in. Yeah. Let's go.
And now the Yankees are like, Bautista's out for all of next year. Really? I thought he was coming back into the year. Felix Bautista's out for the whole year? I thought he got Tommy John. He'll be back at the end of the year, Jason Casey. Are you sure about that? He's out for
Boris
the whole year?
An ash clown, Joel Wandler. Boris isn't it?
It's a rich one, but I mean, I don't understand. He has trouble giving you 5 innings. He won the Cy Young. Like, what do you mean he gave you trouble? He gave you trouble giving you 5 innings? He just won the Cy Young. I mean, I don't get this. This is bizarre to me. The Cy Young Award winner, it's February 15th. He's not signed.
But like JR33312, who's Johnny Parlay, and he's a baseball guy, he said it's hard to give a starting pitcher that much. Starting pitchers don't last as long as offensive bats. The starting pitcher for the season, the role has changed so much, but you still need those dogs, those horses in the postseason. I need a 1 and a 2, at least a 1, that I know I'm going to hand the ball to. I'm going to get a quality start, if not a game changer in a series, especially a 3-game series. The first series, I'm playing all season, ideally to get the bye. If I don't get the bye, I got to win a 3-game series. and I got to have my rotation set up with a 1 and a 1A because we got to get through that to get to a 5-game series. Then we'll figure it out. Then, ironically, if you survive that, you hopefully can set up the rotation for the 7-game series. That's all I'm thinking about. They don't think about the 162. I don't know. I don't know where he's going to sign. Does anyone have an inside place?
That's a good point. No one trade for Lamar, and Lamar went and won the MVP. I don't get it at all. Blake Snell is 31 years of age, left-handed starting pitcher, reigning Cy Young Award winner, and not signed as of yet.
LL said he walks too many batters.
I mean, you can punch holes in guys' resumes all you want, okay?
Of course.
But he still won the Cy Young, okay? He still won the Cy Young Award.
He really only does go 5 innings, though. They don't.
Okay, but
let him go through 3 times 30.
But that was the Padres' decision. I don't know. Was that anyone else's? By the way,
the Rays in the World Series didn't they?
The Padres play the Dodgers today on ESPN in I think it does start now. It's at 12:10. Spring training. Yeah, in Arizona.
They're opening the season over there, right?
It was supposed to start.
Dodgers open the season,
right? And that's where they're starting now because they're the first one to start playing games.
Right, they got to go over there and play.
Yeah, Shohei's not playing tonight, so in case you're curious about Ohtani, he's not playing, and neither is Machado. But it's in the Peoria Stadium in Peoria, Arizona, for Dodgers Padres.
They're going to be tough to get tickets for down there.
Can you imagine?
No.
This is a great question. Which is a more degen bet, spring training or preseason? Spring training is because you don't know a split squad. You don't know how many innings. You don't know what they're working on. Don't bet spring training baseball.
It's both.
Both, but NFL preseason is far more predictable than spring training baseball wise.
Fair.
Far more predictable. Far more.
It's minus 120 as far as which one's a bigger degen bet.
Don't bet spring training. No.
Spring training games. Listen, people love to bet the jerseys. They come in.
Oh, yeah. Bet the jerseys. Absolutely.
Bet the same teams.
Yep.
JC from KC, earmuffs. Nobody's ever bet the Royals
ever
in a spring training game in a long, long time. They come in, they bet the Yankees, they bet the Dodgers, they bet the Cubs. Same 5 teams every day.
Right.
The book just writes a number. Whoever they are, their favorite. Doesn't matter. Nobody knows who's pitching. Nobody knows how long they're pitching. The split squad games, thank God, I used to say, we're not putting them up. I'm not putting them up.
You can't. Split squad games.
No, there's places to put them up, P-Roll, and there's people that will bet them.
That's nutcase. Absolute nutcase. And then finally, can the Rangers go back-to-back? The Rangers are the defending champs. And everyone is going to be talking about the LA Dodgers. And no one is going to be talking about the Rangers, who are 14-1.
14-1.
14-1.
Hello.
To win the American League and go back to the World Series. Their odds are half with the Astros, which is so crazy to me. I just think if I'm in that room, if I'm a Ranger fan, I'm walking in spring training, the first thing I'm going, boys, they don't even think we can get back. They don't think we can do it.
We can win the division.
They don't think we can win the division. We got a ring on our finger. We ain't done. Awesome motivation. Such awesome. If I'm a Ranger fan, I am in love with what's going on. Question everything. Do you know who we have coming back off the DL? Have you seen who our starting rotation might be in September? Do you know what we're going to throw at you? Because you can take Ohtani all you want. He ain't pitching. Look at our starting rotation in the postseason. Let's go. DeGrom and Scherzer. Have fun with that, guys. I don't know.
And they got a lineup.
At 14-1, I don't normally bet really early futures, but my God, that's tasty to go and jump on that.
Yeah, at some point, I think this year I'm going to get the full baby blue Ranger Texas uniform.
Nice.
I love that.
The hottest day. By the way, the hottest day ever was at a baseball game in my life was at a Ranger game. I thought I was in an oven. I legitimately thought I was in an oven. Oh my God. It was during
Arlington.
It was in Big 12 football media days. It was, we had a media night where all of us got free tickets to go to the Rangers at Arlington. And I thought like they were like, are they roasting us? Like, are we for dinner? Because I feel like I'm in a 500-degree oven. Like,
Was it that bad?
Oh my God. It was like 105.
Oh, no.
It was like a 5 o'clock start. It's like an ESPN 7 p.m. start. So it was a 5 p.m. start. And it was like 105 degrees with like 89% humidity. And it was just in the shade. Like it was, I was like, this is the hottest I've ever been in a baseball game. How the hell are these guys playing baseball? That's why I always kind of say you can't play baseball in Vegas. Like, are you sure? Like, they played outdoor baseball in Arlington, Texas for a while, and nobody really had that big of a problem with it for years.
Oh, I mean, we go to the Aviators games all the time. And yes, it's hot, but if you start at 7:30, and you have just sundown to fight and then play at night, I mean, even start the games at 8 o'clock. You can play. I mean, we did it with the kids. We played in the daytime. We played at night. It's hard and it's brutal. You got to have shade, I think, for people sitting watching, so you can build a stadium where a lot of the seats are in the shade. But
what is this? Rangers aren't making the playoffs.
Adam Pyatt.
What?
Are you coming in? Wow, guns a-blazing. They're not making it. You bet them to not make the playoffs?
Damn.
Wow, Adam, coming in hot.
Look at this. Rangers.
Wait. Well, there's our second poll.
Is it big business? Are you a Ranger fan?
Big business. Big
Rangers,
business. They got the big business.
I thought they were your team. They're not making the playoffs? Oh, my gosh.
How do they not make the playoffs, P-Roll?
I don't know.
Put the second poll up right now.
That's a what are we
Rangers
doing?
make the playoffs, yes or no?
By the way, the Pirates are picked to win more games than the Red Sox, according to our poll. You guys are all crazy.
Oh, no.
Just FYI.
68, 67%.
You guys are all crazy.
Guys, I love you. I don't know about that. Now you made me nervous. Oh, God. We'll have a bet. We'll come up with something by the start of the season. We'll have a show bet, me and you.
Okay.
It's the only thing my teams can compete with yours, although my team in football may
because my Bruins over 98.5 point bet is good. That's going to cash. I have not touched the Celtics as of yet in a futures market. I probably need to get on that at some point, but I haven't done it yet.
Exactas. You're going to start out. You just have to exacta them all over. Key the Celtics with pick the 5 teams you think are going to make the Western Conference, finals, and then go from there. Will the Rangers miss the playoffs? I mean, I'm voting right now.
No.
Wow.
They're not missing the playoffs. Okay, he admits injuries and jealousy is why Adam Pyatt is picking that. At least he's being honest. Okay. At least he's being honest about where he is on this.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think they're missing the playoffs. I really don't. They can win the division. What are we doing?
But they didn't win the division last year. They lost it on the last day.
They can still win. They can win the division. They can be
okay to of all the sports, winning the division it's not that big of a deal in baseball.
Well, they're trying to make it more, right? They're trying to make it more of a big deal with the home field and the buys and everything else. They're trying to make it more, but it's tough. With only one bye in baseball, it's tough.
Well, no, the top 2 teams get the bye.
Oh, it's top 2 now. Sorry, that was one. It's 1 in football,
it's
2
fine,
they keep on changing it around. 2 in football, 2 in football. No, 1 in football and 2 in baseball. Right.
Right. When you got dogs in that rotation, you can win it from the 5 spot. It's just like hockey. The hockey winning divisions. I mean, yes, you get home ice, and yes, you get that automatic bye in the second round when you're the division winner and they put you together. But I don't know. It's not that big of a deal.
I can't believe you guys are picking the Rangers to miss the playoffs. I don't agree at all. That's what I mean. If I'm a Ranger player, I'm walking into spring training and I'm like, they don't think we can do it again, guys. Like, it's great motivation. It's a great thing to have. You're not going to get fat and happy. You're getting questioned out of the gate.
We got our guy Landon Higa from Hawaii watching the show right now. He's very active all the time. Chat. Landon, good to see you, brother. Yeah. He said the Rangers and Astros are better than the Yankees and Rays.
Agreed.
That AL East is going to be a bloodbath. Toronto, the Yankees, Tampa's not going anywhere, and the Orioles may be the best team. You might have a really rough season in Boston. Gotta play them. Well, now they don't play them as much.
Yeah, I was going to say, they play at home. I mean, it's at Fenway. Nah, I mean, look, they're going to win 78 games. Okay, that's 78. I think they'll win 75 to 81 games. Somewhere in that window is where they're going to win. They're not going to be. They're not going over. They're not going to be. The best they can do is 500. 81. That's the best they can do.
All right. Well, as we get closer, we'll see how their lineup's going to shape up.
Well, they can hit. We don't think they can hit. They can score. Devers and company, they can score, but they can't. Their pitching staff is. Oh, they're an over team. Boston's going to be.
Boston's an over team.
That's going to be an over team
for scoring and for giving it up.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, giving up a lot of runs. They're going to be giving up. A couple of college basketball games to get into. Rutgers is laying 4.5 against Northwestern coming up here for tonight.
On the road?
That game is, I believe it's on the road. Hold on. That game is Rutgers is at home.
Okay.
Rutgers this year at home is 8-5 ATS. Northwestern 4-5-1. They've been the betting darling of late for people, but Rutgers in their gym in Piscataway, they've covered 3 in a row, 4 of 5. They just beat Wisconsin by 22 at home.
Total's only 130.
Boy, both teams play slow. Yep.
I would say dog.
Woo, really?
Yeah. I mean, I not that I know anything about either one of these teams. I only watched Northwestern play when they upset that team at home, and we were talking about it.
So here are your Big Ten road games for Northwestern. On the road at Illinois, lost by 30. On the road at Wisconsin, lost by 8. On the road at Nebraska, lost by 6. Didn't cover any of those 3. On the road at Purdue, lost by 9, but did cover. On the road at Minnesota as 1.5-point favorites, lost by 9. They have one cover this year on the road.
Ouch. In Big Ten play.
Mm-hmm. You still like Northwestern?
Yeah, that's the lean. That's the lean.
I would take them. The other one, Utah at USC -2.
How'd this one make the rundown?
Well, this is a crap night for basketball. My better to book a game is even worse. So get ready for that bet. But we're going to my dad's city for that game.
Lindenwood and SIU Edwards.
No, it's not that. It's not that bad. But we're going to Burlington, Vermont for my better to book at basketball game tonight. So I've got good CLV on that game, but it's where my dad lives and the team I used to cover. So that's going to be an interesting conversation that we'll do during better to book it. But USC at home is 5-6, but Utah 3-7 ATS on the road. They're 4-9 in Pac-12 play. They've covered one time in the last 6 games, but unfortunately USC's only covered one time in the last 7 games.
This is a trash game here.
Yep. Well, Pac-12 is trash, but look at the games tonight. The games stink.
I know. I sent Jack the list for the show tonight. We'll be on Sports Grid again live 5 to 7 Pacific. That's 8 to 10 Eastern p.m. tonight. This line stinks to high heaven, but give me the Utes. 2 Utes. You want the Utes with 2? 2 Utes.
Bet the over in Northwestern, 11 straight overs. Bet the
there
over.
You go. I like that, Johnny P.
In the Northwest.
See, I love this show. You guys give us the plays. That's just as well.
Yeah.
My first thought is I can't lay points with USC.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's only 2, but
they're bad.
This is
Utah is not good either. So, hockey, Florida -1. This is crazy. I have 4 games. They're all road favorites. This is a weird night. Again, first time these teams are playing this year, and the numbers are wacko. Florida on the road at Buffalo -150. They're on a back-to-back.
They smoked the Penguins last night.
They did, but -150 at Buffalo.
Over to?
Maybe.
I like the total better than the side. Do you want Buffalo? I don't.
No, I don't.
Florida's playing pretty good right now.
Yeah, Florida's hot. They're playing really well.
Florida's playing really good. I mean, it's a team we should start looking at those futures again.
Yep. Agreed.
Right? They could come out of the East. The way they're built, they could come out of the East. It's Florida or nothing. I
have a future bet Arizona, Nicholas. I bet Arizona win it all. I know about Arizona. Don't worry. I'm not the Pac-12 sucks. Sorry. Arizona is inconsistent, but the Pac-12 sucks.
The Pac-12 sucks.
I would lean Florida on that. Colorado Tampa may be the game of the night.
It's a good game.
Good game. -125 on the road favorite Avs. I do like the total in this game.
No, you had that flipped. It was Tampa minus 120 because it's now Tampa minus 125 in places.
Oh, I thought Colorado was favored. Oh, sorry.
No, Tampa's favored. Because I was going to say, you give me Tampa plus money at home right now, I want them. So, yeah, it's flipped. 6.5 is the total at some places, minus 145.
I got 30 last night.
What in the hell?
They won't go to 7. They don't want it.
I'm going to ask you guys, if you want, we're trying to come up with a shirt with a saying on it. We've narrowed it down to 2. BVB, always forward, never straight, or move the damn number.
That's the better of the 2.
So,
because always forward, never straight is an inside joke to the show. If you're part of the brigade, you get it. But if we're outside advertising to people who don't know the show, move the damn number. I think it's a better t-shirt.
Move the damn number.
It's a better t-shirt. That's a better t-shirt.
If you guys want to be interested in buying a t-shirt, leave a comment on the YouTube channel, please.
You know we have to fulfill these orders at some point, right? You keep on talking about this. We're going to do this at some point, right?
Yes. Well, this is. Listen, we have a call on Monday.
Okay.
We're going to determine, hopefully, what we're doing.
Okay.
We got to get stats. I don't even know what that meant, by the way.
We have another call. Someone just sent an email for our Midwest friends are inquiring about us making a Midwest appearance at some point in the very near future.
Bring the show to the people in the Midwest. That would be so much fun. But yes, no. So after the call on Monday, we'll have an idea of space, size, people, what we can do,
right?
Whether we're going to be able to provide, promo codes for rooms and all that other stuff. And I want to be able to hand out t-shirts to people that come and, then sell them. So if you want, move the damn number. I think we put that, on the back or in the front? I don't know.
We'll figure that out later, but that'll be on the t-shirt.
Damn number.
Yes.
Move the damn number on that total. You can't have 6.5 over minus 145. One place is offshore is minus one.
I want that on a billboard. I don't want that on a t-shirt. I want my billboard idea. I want a billboard that says that. That's what I want. I want a damn billboard that says Peralt.
You're going to pay for the billboard. The people will buy the shirts.
It's the same price. I mean, it's, $25 here, $25 there. It works. Billboard's only like $800. Seriously, I mean, it's cheap. Let's get a billboard during March Madness. Peralt, your picks suck. It would be phenomenal. BVB. I love it.
Come to the Resorts World Show the 21st and the 22nd. Tell us that your picks suck, man.
Phenomenal. I would love it. I'd take a picture underneath it, make it into a t-shirt, be like that underneath it. It would be great.
You're right, Joe the Fat Panda. They will not be shitty Gildan t-shirts. They will not.
I can't put that on. What's the where's that? Where's that? What's the Spheres charging? $400,000 every half hour. That's what they're charging, by the way. Just
we can't put it on there yet.
400,000 every half hour. That's what the Sphere is charging at the moment for this. Oilers stay hot
in front of Edmonton right now.
No, especially not against St. Louis.
Edmonton in regulation.
You'll like it. Yep, I think it's like 135, 40.
Down a little bit.
I think it's 30 or 40 somewhere. The price on that.
Yeah.
And then finally, before we go to bonus time, Dallas 160.
Did we get super chats, by the way? I thought I saw a couple colors go by. We have super chats to do in bonus time, right?
Correct. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Every day, guys, if you're new to the show, and again, the more people are coming, you can leave us a super chat. We get to it in BVB bonus time. Dallas at Nashville's a hard game. Cautious here. Lean in Nashville.
Thank you to Otto. Awesome trend. Both these teams are psychotic under first period.
Under for the game, under for the first period.
Under 1.5, even money
on it. The first, whatever, you can take that shot.
Yeah, I think 2 and 8 for Nashville and 4 and 6 for Dallas for under in the first period. Or sorry, over in the first period. Sorry.
So reverse it and say it. They've been 8 and 2 to the under, and 6 and 4 to the under.
Yeah,
you confuse everybody when you do that.
It's fine because that's how he writes it.
I know.
So I'm regurgitating. I'm regurgitating how Otto writes it on his website. So I'm just it's how I read it last night and how I made the bet. So it's how I saw it. So
I know.
I didn't want to do it. If I flip it around, it's confusing because I didn't read it that way, and I think I'm wrong. I didn't read it the right way because Otto doesn't write it that way. Otto writes it that way, so I just copy what Otto does. It makes it easier.
That's fine. We'll get Chris on the show here next week.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Let's talk hockey. I got to bet on more hockey because I've been so myopic with college basketball that I need to like branch out. I've been like literally 2 weeks nothing but college basketball.
Well, this is hockey weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's outdoor games at MetLife. It's the showcase for hockey without basketball games every day in the NBA. So it's all college basketball and all hockey. We talk about all that here on the show. It's great.
Thank you guys on SiriusXM and on Sports Grid. We appreciate you guys. If you are watching on Sports Grid Friday night, Dave and I are back for another night. You just saw us, earlier in the night on Sports Grid. You're seeing us again tomorrow as well on SiriusXM as well. If you guys are live with us, however, if you're on our YouTube channel or on Twitter with us, don't move. You get bonus time. Mm-hmm.
All right, what were you going to put up that you couldn't put up?
No, you read it.
Oh.
Yeah, you read it.
Oh, no shitty Gildan t-shirts. Right. You're right, Joe the Fat Panda. You're right. Believe me, we will not let that happen. It's important.
Again, we had it. Remember, we had it. That's what we had in the beginning. Remember the props BVB t-shirts we had? They were all Gildan t-shirts.
It's good. They're good workout shirts now.
They're not. They suck.
Well, the good thing about them being
to work out in them. No, they're phenomenal rag t-shirts to clean your car.
That's perfect for that. But yes. The good thing about them is when you get them and you wear them and you work out, then you just throw them away. Like they don't last long. So quality is important to us with all the stuff we do. We are taking over Sports Grid this week.
This week we are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Got to be some value in that. There has to be some fucking value in that.
Stop it. Yes.
There has to be. No.
Yes. Stop it. Time now for better or book it before we get in trouble.
They're not watching the show.
Time for better to book it. Really? I would disagree. I would actually strongly disagree with that point.
You think they're watching BVB bonus time?
Everyone's watching it. We have 100 people in here right now. Yes.
Hi, guys.
Yes.
Girls.
Yes. Yeah. You're welcome for the show prep. You guys are all coming back here. You're welcome. All of you.
Said it.
You're all welcome. Yeah. All you hosts who are all needing our show to do your own fucking work. Yes. You need us. You're welcome. All of you. All you producers, by the way. Yeah. We know about you guys, by the way. Don't think we don't. Okay. Yeah. All you gambling afternoon shows. Amazing how your topics just dovetail with ours more than often than not. Coincidences are everywhere. It's incredible. This number has moved. Vermont -8 tonight.
What are you doing here?
Catamounts, let's go. It's now 10. They're playing UNH. I used to cover New Hampshire. My father lives in Burlington. This is a house of horrors. Vermont can't cover. They haven't covered in like a month. It's unbelievable. They're gonna hammer New Hampshire tonight.
Are they?
Vermont -8. Better to book it.
Have you been in this gym?
I have. It's a high school
bandbox.
Bandbox makes it's insulting to bandboxes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this is a fucking high school. This is what it is. It's tiny.
Wow.
Vermont is in Burlington. I think it seats 3,500. I think.
Oh man,
it's so small. It's so loud. It's awesome. America East. It's a fun gym.
You laid 8.
It's 10.5 at Chris.
Thanks, Butchie. Oh my God.
It's running.
Oh my. I mean, I guess 8 is good. Now, we got a lot of people watching it and they'll catch it later on the listen back, but
yeah.
Is 10.5 is too late to the party, right? Like you can't lay 10.5 at a game that was 8.
No, yeah, I couldn't. I would not recommend that. No. It's a rough night in basketball. It's a 9. I think it's a 9-point win with KenPom, or 10-point win for KenPom. Sorry, 10-point win for KenPom. So
yeah, I don't think you're going to find in game for this. You're really going to have to. I think you're going to have to make it a real point to get a pregame bet on this one. I don't think so. Listen, if you can find it in game and they get down, you can lay less than 8, or that's good. But geez, now I'm gonna. What time does this game start? Oh, perfect!
Yeah.
Right before we get on the air. Okay, I'm gonna watch for this game. I'm gonna search out 2 places for in-game.
Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, have I ever bet women's college basketball? Look, I did 2 years of play-by-play for UMass women, complete seasons. I did an entire season of UVA women's basketball. I have paid my dues with women's basketball. I'm not betting an even Iowa game. I'm not betting Caitlin Clark. No. And was that on the air or off the air when someone said we have to go ahead and fade Iowa during the playoffs? It was our guy in Iowa
that was at the Cosmo.
Yeah, he said
Ryan from that Bettendorf.
Bettendorf. Yes,
Bettendorf,
Iowa. Said fade Iowa after the Sweet 16. Start fading Iowa in the NCAA tournament.
He said start fading them now because the lines are so high.
Wait a minute. This number is 7 at stations and 10.5 at Chris. There's no way that's right. There's no way Vermont's -7. That's a typo. If you're looking at if that's a scraped data, that's something that's not updated. There's no way that it's 7. There's no way there's a 3.5 point difference between Stations Casino and Chris.
Go get them winning Las Vegas. Go get them.
If that's true, that's going to get absolutely bonkers hammered by professionals. If that's true.
Do too much though, because
okay. Thank you, JR. Stations is at 10. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was gonna say there's no way. Like there's no way that's
okay.
That's impossible. That would be one of the more crazier things. First period under Dallas, Nashville.
Bet
under 1.5. And that's in over 6.5. It's juicy. -130. I got
over
from I do like over in the game. Yeah, I think over in the game. I think you're going to see a lot of offense between these two teams.
Are you good laying 140 or 145, which it is right now?
I lay 30. I don't want to lay 45.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's high. It's expensive.
I mean, it's an over game. The line should be 7. I don't
Colorado, I mean, it's kind of wild. The Avs are playing like ridiculous over games right now.
Right.
Avalanche games are flying on the road. The Avalanche are 18-11 this year to the over on the road.
Oh, geez. There's Otto just came in and said it's the backup goalie for Colorado, too.
Yeah, it's not Georgiev.
Oh. Team total over?
You could if you want to.
Tampa team total over, game over. There's a lot of over bets in that game. I like that. Wow. Okay.
Be 4-3 on that. So we're betting that?
Yes.
Okay. I need to find out who the Friar Bettendorf is here.
I told Ryan to get in the show.
We did.
Ryan wanted us to meet him, and he wanted to pick our brain. He said, I'll buy you guys dinner, me and you. And I was like, listen, man, it's a really tough week right now. Right. I don't think we can do this.
Super chat now, Dave's Daily Picks. I don't understand how states like Florida offer online horse racing, but not sports betting. Is that due to horse racing being legal for so long? No, the online sports betting business is owned by one property. That would be the Seminole Tribe has the monopoly in Florida. That is why online sports betting is only through the Hard Rock casinos in the state of Florida.
The horse racing business has been regulated, and with public, it's been in the realm forever. Like this, to get horse racing to where it was, they had to work. There was, I mean, there's still obviously stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and you hear about, them giving horses, shooting them up and all that other stuff. But they've worked with government agencies for a long, long time. That's why horse racing is legal. So it was a natural thing to turn on them on an app, and be able to bet it online. Can you do it cross states? Some states say yes. Some states say no. You have a Twin Spires app. It doesn't work here, but it works in other states. Like you can live in Kentucky and go to New York and your Twin Spires app will work. You come to Vegas, it won't work. So you can do that. The sports betting thing, we're in the beginning, Dave. It's not as easy. There's a lot of gray area. There's a lot of companies that went and disguised themselves as parlay sports books and said they were fantasy companies. So that's why.
And then big business on the Rangers. Staff is Evaldi, Gray, Haney, Dunning, and Bradford. Max comes back in June. July, I say the kid's name, Molly. I say the kid's name,
Yeah.
Molly, right? And then DeGrom in August, huge Ranger fan, but I'm realistic. Without re-signing Montgomery, the reinforcements would be too late. Disagree.
Wow. Big business. I'm surprised.
With all the wild cards available?
That lineup. No. Seager bombs.
Yeah.
Simeon. I think they're going to be okay.
I would
think
agree.
they're going to be okay.
Yeah. I think they score a lot. I think they'll be an over team like they were at home. They were a massive over team last year when they're playing at home. So I like that. But, yeah, I disagree.
I can't wait for baseball.
It's going to be exciting. Favorite thing about today is what?
So last night I had a very deep conversation with one of these guys that was in town, and I had to just remind him to breathe, because the stress and the different things that are going on, we talk about all the time. People don't know. You don't know what someone's going through, and you really don't. And someone looks like a duck above water like this, and underneath those legs are kicking, and they don't know where they're going. I mean, the talks were, just one of those things. Like, I can't do anything directly for you other than sit and listen. And that's what a lot of people are doing when they come here and listen to us talk and just be yourself. And, he specifically said to me, you guys are building something. I can't explain it, but it's right. Just keep going and just keep doing what you're doing. I see, when I watch the show, I like getting in there and I see that chat interacting and I see people, and I said, yeah, that's what we're doing. And so it was a good conversation. I'm driving home and I get a text with pretty sad news. A guy that I worked with for probably 5 years at the M, his name was Ronnie Real, had a stroke 6 months ago, passed away yesterday. Never recovered. He was the guy, Filipino guy, diehard Eagles fan. If you're in the business, you know who he is because he's been around a long time. He's one of the lifers. We did bowling nights. He was an exceptional bowler. He used to bowl over 200. He was always one of the favorites when we made the numbers for the bowling night. Ronnie was one of the top choices. He had 2 sisters. He has 2 sisters. They're still alive. He's not. I got a text Super Bowl week. Ronnie's in bad shape. He might have to go to hospice. We were so busy that I didn't get a chance to go see him. And now I'm looking for anyone. I've reached out to everyone that I know in the business that knows Ronnie, knows me, and knows that they knew him too. Find out when these arrangements are, if there are arrangements, because we got to go. I have to go. I have to see his sisters. Hopefully his parents are still okay, whatever. But it hit so hard because I had a stroke 3 years ago and woke up somehow better, and I can't explain it. And I got that text last night while I was driving home. It was 1:00 in the morning, and I was like, man. And again, it was just one of those moments where you go, I'm just happy, 1, I'm alive, and 2, I'm around people that really care. Like, you just got to keep finding that circle. And I think we're expanding it here with the brigade. And, my favorite thing about today was, like, again, we've used it for positive. We used it to send a message. We use it. I mean, there was a shooting yesterday at Kansas City, and some 23-year-old woman who was there covering it passed away. Is gone and will never go home. I'm driving home last night, and this guy who made sure that I had young kids, he said, Dave, as long as I'm here doing the schedule, you'll never work Christmas. You will always have Christmas off. No matter what day these leagues, how many games they put on here, you're going to have off, because I know how important it is to be with your kids. Straight up guy like that. Condolences, Ronnie Real, R-I-E-L was his last name. I'm going to try to find a funeral arrangements and go, and just be happy with what you got. As hard as the storm is, keep going.
It's funny you say that, because I had a moment like that this morning. I don't know if it was because of the shooting that happened yesterday and because it was a media member that lost her life, or I don't know, because whenever I start back up with boxing, I haven't boxed now, and I don't know, since before Christmas. So this morning was my first time getting back into just working out and doing the workouts that Stephan Bonner taught me. Stephan was born on April 4th, 1977, same day as me. Whenever I work out, I always, like, whenever it's something boxing related, I always like go to grab my phone to text him. He's gone. And it like stops me always whenever I'm like, fuck, he's gone. Like, he's not here. He died for a multitude of complications. He got really bad during COVID. And like, there's just people like that where like they pop into your brain and you have to stop and go, he was the same age as me. He had a son, same age as Madeline. I'm here. He's not. What the fuck am I going to do with that gift that he and I walked the earth the same amount of days? I met him randomly in a bar. He made fun of what I was doing, and he asked me whether or not you want to actually box or not. Do you want to do Taibo or do you want to box? You want to learn how to box or not? I remember him staring me straight in the eye. He was dead straight, and I was like, Jesus. I was like, yeah, I want to know how to box. He said, fine, meet me here this time, this day. And he was a mess. He was a mess. He was addicted to drugs. And I tried getting him help, but a lot of people did in the UFC community, tried to get him help, and it didn't work. But like, there's just moments like that where someone pops into your brain and it gets you that right in your soul of like, what are you going to do about your next days? Because this person would trade places with you in 2 seconds if they could. And how to bleed, scream, squeeze out everything every day that you've got. You know, I'm just starting this back up again. I'm sore as fuck. I don't care. I mean, I'm on workout number 6 or 5, or the fuck I am on now. And like, I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm drinking all this water. It's like, but I do it for that reason, because it opens up parts of my mind and my brain when I do these things that is locked otherwise because of just the chaos of the life that you're living and the world you're at. And you take a second and you do it. And then all of a sudden this door opens and it's like somebody tapping you on the shoulder. And I'm working and I'm doing these workouts. I'm doing like everything I learned from Stephan. He taught me all the things I did this morning are entirely from him. And I'm hearing the lessons in my head. I'm hearing what he's talking. Move your head, watch your hand. Don't do this. Don't do that. And I'm like, it motivated me. You know, I came out of there. I'm on an adrenaline high. Now I get to do that workout. I feel awesome. I told Madeline, I'm going to do the show. Nothing gets me better to go ahead and do that. But like, that's where, if you need a moment, realize that there's somebody who was born the same day as me who is not here, but I'm here. What are you going to do about it? What am I going to do about it?
Get these reminders all the time. You know, get these reminders all the time. I was thinking of, you know, when I heard that somebody died at that parade, I was like, did they have kids? You know,
she was a kid. She's 23.
Right. And, you know, after the show here, I'm up to like 3 miles a day.
Good.
I'm going and just, you know,
that's awesome.
Starting a slow jog, but walking, I don't care. I'm just happy to get outside. The wind ain't blowing. I put my glasses on, get a little sun, go do that, come take a nap, and then me and you were doing a show in a couple hours.
I got it.
You know,
yep.
We'll look at make some bets and do some things, but even if you don't, it's good, man. It's not. Do you ever feel guilty? Do you ever feel guilty?
I don't feel guilty with Stephan, because I was mad. I knew he was on drugs. I knew he had big problems. Right. He lost a shit ton of weight.
Yep.
I'll never forget. I don't know if you did you see Sean Strickland sparring or boxing or sparring with the YouTuber? Do you see him in the octagon? So he beat the living shit out of the kid. Okay.
Right.
But Stephan used to do that to me. I used to be like, he would literally stand there and go ahead, go at me. Like, and I would go at him, and he would just like, he'd take every punch from me. And then he just smacked me across the head. Like, he just one punch knocked me down. And like, when I watched Strickland, I was like, I know what that feels like. I know what that guy's like. Now Strickland beat the shit out of him because the guy said, I want to fight you. And Bonner, every single time, if Stephan wanted to beat the fuck out of me, he could have. He weighed, the last time I saw him, he was 6'4", 6'3". He weighed probably somewhere around like 230 pounds. When he passed away, he weighed about 165 pounds.
Ooh.
he was a rail. Like he was sickly a rail. Drugs had really gotten a hold of him badly. And so I don't feel guilty about that because I believe I do believe in personal accountability. And I do believe that he was making his own choices, and he would tell you, and he used to tell me, he'd show up to sessions on Saturday morning, glassy eyed, completely. You could tell he was borderline still fucked up. And, from what from the night before, and he wasn't sober. And like, you just saw it. And like, I remember talking to him being like, do you need help? And he was like, I don't need help, Matt. I'm a grown man. I can do what I can do. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm not going to push on that. You've done a lot of things. He had a rough life growing up. He had a lot of things. So, but I realized like I didn't go to the funeral. The funeral was at the UFC, was his celebration of life was at the UFC, was invite only. And I didn't get to go to that. But I thought in my brain, like, where is he buried? And I think he's buried here. And I'm like, I need to go in April on our birthday. I'm going to go to his grave.
Right.
And I want to go see him. And I just can't. It just like I didn't know we were born on the same day till after knowing him for 2 years. So fucked up. He was like, when's your birthday? I was like, April 4th. He's like, shut up. I was like, yeah. He's like, what year? How old are you? I was like, 1977. He goes, wait a minute. We were born on the same fucking day. I was like, yeah. I was like, that's weird.
And you start to really go, somebody put you in my life for a reason. Like this, the connection was made so you could then take what you learned and do it yourself. And we're all on this weird, strange, wild ride, journey, whatever you want to call it. And I mean, we're doing this show every day. We have people from all over the United States, Canada, Costa Rica, Australia, England, Ireland, listening to the show, and talking about stuff we're doing or stuff we've said.
That's
Look at that. I was born the same day and years Anthony Young. The pitcher is the record for most consecutive losses. August 12th is my birthday. No one's I can't find anybody like the two. Me and Pete Sampras.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's good.
But same day? Same year?
Day.
Same year?
No, he's younger.
Oh, just same day. Oh, okay.
A little bit younger.
His hair, man, that man bun. Someone's got to get to Pete Sampras. Get to a barber, Pete. What are you doing?
Listen, if you could have a man bun, you would.
No, I would not.
Oh, they're nice.
They're not nice. I'm sorry.
They're not?
They're not nice. No, man buns are.
I like man buns.
Hey, Eric. Wait, E? I knew that. Yeah, I knew you were born in the 3rd from E. Yeah. That's our producer extraordinary.
Oh, there we go.
My fellow Aries. My fellow Mr. E. Mr. Eric Garcia. Thank you for being here, sir. We appreciate you more than you know.
Got a big roll call Friday tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Birthdays.
Yeah, I would not like man buns, Chris Covey. Thank you very much. No, thank you.
Man buns are nice.
They are? No, they're not. They're not nice. We are back tomorrow. Roll call Friday. If you haven't gotten enough of this, we'll see you guys here in 3.5 hours.
3.5.
We'll be doing it live on Sports Grid from 8 to 10 Eastern time. Dave, Matt, roll call Friday tomorrow for BBB.